What's your name?
My name is Jean-François Hamel, but for most people they call me Jeff, so it's easier.
Where do you come from?
I'm from Canada, the island of Newfoundland, so the island east, the far east of Canada, if you want.
What do you do?
Among many things, deep sea research, as many of us here. So yes, I'm working on mainly my main subject of research is reproduction. All these cycles we can observe in deep sea creatures, the season at which time they can spawn, what are the environmental factor that could control the seasonality, if there is seasonality, the development of the embryos, the larvae, everything that could help us to understand the life history of these creatures. So it's about the main focus of our lab.
And what do you think about the symposium as it ends today?
It's always great time. It's great time. It's becoming big. That said, because sometimes we have good colleagues, we would like to re-establish contacts, discuss possibility of project, exchange ideas. But as this symposium is growing every time we are meeting, it's more and more difficult. So I don't know in the future what will be the best solution to divide it in two or to continue to grow. We'll see. But it's always a great pleasure to be part of it, for sure.
Is this your first symposium? Do you recognize anyone here that you've met before?
Oh, yes. No, it's not my first symposium. No, I'm unfortunately too old for that. But yes, there is plenty of colleagues I was able to see again and to discuss with. But it's probably because, like I mentioned you a few seconds ago, there is too much people, and as everybody wants to talk with everybody, it's more difficult than maybe 10 or 15 years ago for the same symposium conference.
I saw that were many students here. What do you think is their role in a symposium like this?
It's the future generation. It's the future of this type of research. It's absolutely essential. There is a lot of students, more and more compared to again 15 or 10 or 15 years ago, and it's interesting for them to meet with older person, maybe a bit more well established in the domain. But there is a growing competition among them. There is not enough maybe places in labs to welcome all of them, especially for postdoc. And we'll see in the future. Money is becoming something difficult to obtain for many labs. So we are restricted in our capacity or capability to host tons of students. It will be a challenging future as they are growing in number.
If I ask you about the most important message you heard or the most important thing, what would you tell me?
It's very easy for me. We know nothing. And more we are trying to learn something, more we realize that we are knowing nothing. And more we are knowing something, a bit of detail about like life history in a creature, it complicated everything. Everything we are trying to develop or understand, at each time we are knowing a bit more, it's more difficult to understand it. Or we realize the extreme complexity of this huge ecosystem that represent the deep sea. But it's not only for the deep sea, it's for all domain, in fact, in science. More we know, more we are entangled in a huge amount of knowledge we have difficulty to use.
Will ever be possible to know everything about the deep sea?
No, of course not. this, I cannot elaborate on that. It's no, absolutely not. And I think this is the beauty of it. Because if there is no more to learn, if we are knowing everything, or we think we know everything, we will stop doing research. And no, it's impossible first. In my opinion, there is resources to do research, not only in the deep sea, but in the shallow water. It's the same for countless number of generation in the future.
How do you think this type of research will proceed in the future?
What do you mean exactly? I'm not sure if I understand.
After this symposium, I know that you have been talking about new things, new definitions, and so on. Do you think that with more development, technological infrastructures, everything will be easier or more difficult? What will happen in your opinion?
I think it's. I love research that do not require too much technology. I love research that are done with little money. But of course, we are having access to more and more technology. Every year, it's bring new technologies. Some are very complex to use, very costly. Yes, some of them will open new horizon, new possibilities, and it's why research in the deep sea is endless. Because this generation will discover new tools, and the future generation will discover new tools, and we will probably, what we are finding now, because we will use new technology in the future, will change our understanding, and the conclusion we have now for some of our main question will be completely changed. We will change the way probably some conclusion will be, we will change the way we are seeing things. So I'm pretty sure in the future we will redefine the deep sea. We will see it a different way. But still, I'm not sure the technology will help us to progress very fast. But we love to play with tools as human, as you know. More it costs, more it's fascinating. You know, submarine, stuff like that. ROV, AUV, and plenty of accessories to collect sample in the deep, collect larvae. I don't know, it's fascinating. I'm sure the future is great. I'm pretty sure we will discover new things, we will redefine stuff over the years.